Hello my friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Novella. Today is Friday and that means a deep dive. I'm going to talk about Sorrowland by Rivers Solomon. A great book, a fantastic book, a phenomenal book. But what is it about? It is about Vern. Vern is 15, highly pregnant, albino and intersex and black. And she's on the run. For what? Well, she just left the compound where she lived all her life. She was part of a black religious group named Sorrowland. And the story begins when she is on the run and she has to give birth. She does it alone. She has twins. And she names them Feral and Howling. Everything goes well. She can hide really well. She can survive she has all the skills to survive in the woods, which she does. But she feels after a couple of months that she isn't alone in the woods. Of course, there are animals, but she's haunted not only by her thoughts and her memories, but also by strange things she finds. Like a head of a deer with a pacifier in its mouth. Or a dead hare with baby clothes on. So she knows she is being watched. And that tension becomes very difficult to live with. And after a year or so, she starts to leave the woods and she goes to a bar. And there she meets Ollie. Ollie is a woman and they fall in love, they have a relationship. And she has her first sexual encounters. Well, liberate sexual encounters. But you can feel that Vern is very traumatized and she doesn't see the signals. And there starts the first plot twist. Rivers Solomon uses this book to tackle a couple of very important topics. The first topic, or one of the topics that she's talking about, is race. And that's why Vern is raised on an all-black religious compound. Sherman is the leader, and he started the religious group with very good intentions. It was as a counter-reaction to the Ku Klux Klan in the 60s. But yeah, power is addictive and things start to happen. Vern is forced to marry him. We know that from the beginning. And they inject her with stuff every morning. They say it's vitamins. But when Vern is out of the compound and she starts living on her own together with the children, she feels that her body is changing. Her skin is becoming stronger. Her vision is getting worse because she is an albino. But she gets stronger and stronger and she can run for days without getting tired. And in a way, when that happened, when she talks about that, and I had to think about the Underground Railroad, where at a certain point they can live in a village and things are weird. They are also being tested on. And that's the same thing that's happening in Sorrowland. And then there are other subjects she wants to talk about. Gender is very important to River Solomon, of course, because they are intersex and known for it. They come out as intersex. And so is Vern. And I found that really interesting because the way she raises her children is in a very gender neutral way. It's not important. And that's, as a matter of fact, that's the way I was raised without realizing it. I only realized it when I was an adult. I had two older brothers, but there were no girl activities or boy activities. There was no pink or blue in the house. I learned a lot of boy stuff, and the boys learned a lot of girl stuff. And that made us very all round in a way, because my mother thought, well, she had the opinion that we must be able to survive alone in the world if it happens. Maybe a day, a week, the rest of our lives, we have to be capable of doing everything by ourselves without asking for help as much as possible, of course. And I found that really reassuring to see that in this book. She also talks about sexuality. Vern is gay. Well, up to that point, because we follow Vern from the age of 15 till the age of 19. And she only had free relationships with women. In the second part of the book, she meets somebody else who is Native American. And that's all I will spoil. We know that Vern had to marry. It wasn't her choice, Sherman. And yeah, he made her pregnant. So yeah, she didn't have very good heterosexual experiences. There are some weak points in the story. Sometimes Vern is very adult. Sometimes you don't even feel that she's 15. And then on the other hand, she is really childish. She is not always a very good mother. She leaves her kids alone at night when they are only one and a half, for a very long time sometimes, to have sex. The children grow up as very understanding, very sweet, very loving. There is no clash between them. There's no tension between the children amongst each other and with the mom, which I find really difficult to believe. The fact that she goes to a bar as a first sort of a Hell's Angels bar, as a first encounter with the white civilized world, sounds a bit strange, but hey, those are the weak points, and those are the only weak points. What is so wonderful about this book is not only its language, it's the world building, it is the power, the force of Vern. It is the empowerment you feel. It is the poetry, the horror, the tension. It is a complete work. It is not perfect, but almost perfect. And it is very, very addictive. It is maybe the best Gothic novel I have read so far. I haven't read many, but hey, if it's a starter point, it's a really good start point. So yeah, I really, really, really enjoyed this book. I highly recommend it. This is my second time that I read this book. I have also consumed it on audio, and the voice, the narrator, is amazing. Amazing. It is such a felt through performance. It's not reading, it's performing. It is wonderful. So I highly, highly, highly recommend this book. Use it as a group read. Use it to talk with other people about issues. If you have issues with gender, if you have issues with your sexuality or with race, well, let them read it first and then start to talk. That's all I can say. Have a nice day. We see you Sunday for my Sunday coffee clutch. Bye-bye.